Most of my favorite thing to do when I'm not trucking is spend time with family.
Family, always. And it starts with family. And then also a community, because if everybody's happy around me, that means, I'm happy too,
That's who makes me, is my wife and my kids. They support me, I support them. And if it wasn't for them, I don't know what I'd be doing.
My best day in trucking was when my son actually got to go with me. And he worked really hard. And I was very proud of him.
We've been married just over 25 years, and we've ran team for the last 13 years.
Most people can't be in a truck together like that all the time. But
and get along.
It's because we work at it.
What I try to think about is, okay, if this was a new marriage, what would I do?
My wife did the ultimate sacrifice of letting her career go for a year to understand mine. She left her field, got on the truck with me, trained her, got her CDL, and we stayed on the truck together for a year for her to understand my industry.
I have a grandson and a granddaughter, and they're part of this company, and they're hopefully they'll take it over for me when I get older.
My youngest son, he'll be 21 next year. So guess what he's going to be doing? Driving a truck, hopefully.
I don't see my daughters getting into it. I'm like, don't you guys like trucking? I got a motion satellite TV. You guys can watch all your shows. Yeah, no. When are we going home? I'm like, okay, yeah, you guys are not cut for it.
The mere fact that I exist, I find that so phenomenal that, that God put me here.
You get out of life what you put into it. Whether it's a little kid or a 80-year-old person, even though we may never see this person again, we try to establish a relationship for the trucking industry. Maybe it's a lasting impression that we can leave with them.
God is the key into all this. If we want to talk about trucking, the first thing is you must have a good relationship with the Lord.
I've had a grown man get emotional when he met me. And he explained to me that, I was on the street, on drugs, just laying on the sidewalk. And someone told me to start watching your videos. And 2 years later, I drive that truck and I'm off drugs.
Well, I think I benefit more from being on the truck than the people whose freight I haul benefit from me, because I learn so much and it keeps me grounded, it keeps me to where I'm not detached. And yeah, I do love people, absolutely.
I spent a lot of time working away, and it was, really tough. You get really lonely, and that loneliness is kind of something that you don't acknowledge it, because when you do, you can kind of spiral into it, but it does have this overall effect in your life that you're just not quite as open to joy that you are when you have the people around you that you love right with you.
Knowing that you're on your way home just sparks like a whole nother life, because it's like, oh, I'm on my way home. All of a sudden the truck is going faster, even though it's governed. It does 62, you feel like you're doing 72, okay? All of a sudden you're counting down the miles as you're getting home. We are people, and we do have families and we do have lives, and we don't want to just be stuck to just looking at white lines and yellow lines all day.
You have to have a great home to have a great job. Because when your home is in order, your job is in order.
The most important people in my life, definitely my wife, my children, my grandfather. And I've got a very core group of friends, solid friends. I think in life we only get maybe 1 or 2 legit friends. And a lot of ball busting, that's for sure, because that's what truck drivers do, man. We like to bust each other's chops, but in the end of it, we'll stand there together for sure.